Jim Kinsey, the three officials. It'll be Oaks putting the ball up, and Irvin Johnson, who will be starting his 21st game, getting a lot of playing time now that Bill Cartwright is out. Cartwright expected back soon after having surgery on his elbow. Dikembe Mutombo, and the tip goes off to Seattle, and Sean Kemp gets it to Irvin Johnson.
He almost left that into the backcourt.
Here's Gary Payton. This is a guy that's going to have to get some votes, I think, for MVP this year in the NBA.
Yeah, George feels very strongly about he's having a sensational year. Sometimes being up in the Northwest like that, you don't get quite the same publicity.
Sean Kemp. Kemp, who did not have a good playoff last year against Denver, misses here, and Rodney Rogers comes down to the rebound. Up to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. He suffered his thigh contusion on the game Tuesday night. They were concerned about him, but he seems to be going very well as the shot misses inside, and Payton back at the other end. Gary Payton averaging over 20 points a game, also over 7 assists a game. Jalen Rose, a rookie from Michigan, trying to check him. Here's Detlef Schrempf. Brunas Marcellonis from outside. And Kemp able to track it down. He goes over the scores table. It comes off to Jalen Rose. Head to Mahmoud. He almost traveled. And Reggie Williams can't control it as they missed an opportunity there.
Yeah, we're getting off to a very shaky start. Seattle settling for the long jump shot.
Sean Kemp missing outside. Dikembe tries to control it. It'll go off as Dikembe Mutombo. And the Sonics will inbound.
You know, when you start a Marcellonis as a new starter, it's a little bit of a continuity problem. It's a little different than what you're used to.
There was a debate whether he or Nate McMillan would start, but Nate McMillan's been slowed with the flu.
There he gets to the basket. Well, European players probably do so much better than American players. They really like to get to the basket.
Reggie Williams missing from outside. Reggie coming off of back-to-back double-doubles as it comes out to Payton. Payton will pull up with the three. Rebound, Rodney Rogers. And right now, neither team really in sync offensively. Some quick shots.
Yeah, they don't seem to be into the game, and sometimes this happens early because both clubs are really, really settling and not getting into running their offense. Bernie Bickerstaff up quickly. He knows exactly what's happening.
So Gary Payton will take it inside. Kicks it out now to Irvin Johnson. He doesn't shoot all that much. He's in there for shot blocking and rebounding. And right now, 1 of 6 is Seattle. Denver's missed all 3 of their shots.
Johnson.
Mahmoud.
Another long jump shot. We haven't had, and they're all one pass, one shot.
We may not have any points in the paint the way this game is going. And Dikembe, who leads the NBA in blocked shots, blocked one there.
Yeah, they're starting that way.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf off the glass. Rodney Rogers, the putback.
Finally, on the second shot, we get a score on the Denver end.
Rodney Rogers, his problem this year, he's in foul trouble all the time. And he's gotten in foul trouble early so many times and haven't been able to play the minutes they want to. Payton down the middle. And we're going to have with the back a loose ball foul, I think, on Johnson. As Dikembe Mutombo had the inside position all the way.
Yeah, it might have been Kemp.
It was Kemp.
Yeah,
Kemp and Johnson both up.
Yeah.
They give it to Sean Kemp.
Yeah, he came over the back. I'm sure that George Karl not happy about him picking up an early one. They can say all they want about this being a regular season game. They have not forgotten, either club, what happened in the playoffs last year.
So we're talking about all the psychology from that playoff as it comes now to Rodney Rogers. Jalen Rose, the 13th pick in the first round this year, misses the shot. It's going to be off of Denver and Seattle, who's not been able to hit anything. 1 of 8 thus far, and Denver is 1 of 8.
Not a shooting clinic.
Payton dumps it off now to Sean Kemp. Kemp shot only 37% of that playoff series against Denver. Part of it was Dikembe guarding him. Here's Detlef Schrempf. Off it comes. Nice catch by Sean Kemp. That wasn't an easy catch to make.
No, and he made a nice athletic play, stretching out.
Seattle on top, 4-2. Reggie Williams looked to the 3, into Dikembe. Dikembe at 7-2. Inside, blocked that time by Johnson. It goes off of Payton. Denver will get it back. And Irvin Johnson, who came into the league last year as a 25-year-old rookie, is started to really help the Seattle team.
Yeah, he really has. He's a terrific player.
Played at New Orleans. The reason he was so old, he was in the workforce for 2.5 years after coming out of high school. They kind of treated him like a rookie because he played so little last season. Jalen Rose inside, tried to reverse, and he's fouled by Johnson.
Johnson, actually, they need so much help in the lane defensively, shot blocking. I think that's one of the Achilles heels they have when they get to playoff time. And this is probably a good chance for him to develop a little bit. With Cartwright getting so many minutes, they'll have two centers ready to play that position because they're going to need that kind of help with the centers that are out west.
Jalen Rose is quite a story. They put him in the starting point guard position right after the All-Star break. He's making fewer mistakes. He's making better decisions. They think he's the point guard for many years to come.
Yeah, they feel strongly about that. I think it takes plenty of time. I think Abdul will spend a lot of time really handling the ball. Jalen, though, is a sound basketball player. Actually can play three positions.
6'8", he can post up some people from that point guard spot. Gary Payton ducking outside. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Marciulionis from outside. That's a three. You got to be happy for Sharunas. Out all last year with that ACL, and now has come back into the starting position.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did not feel that he would ever play again, at least at this level, but he has done a great job of rehabbing and really helping this club.
Sonics with a 7-4 lead. Out it comes to Rose. Jalen Rose played on that fab 5. Up it comes to Reggie Williams. He loves to shoot from the corner. Dikembe with a rebound. Jalen Rose slices inside, and the second opportunity pays dividends.
Yeah, work that backboard, getting the second shots in. Reggie and Ellis have been shooting at a torrid pace from three-point line. 17 out of 25 in the last 3 games, but they're struggling tonight.
Nice looking shot that time by Sean Kemp. Kemp now 26 years of age, already in his 6th year in the NBA. Sonics with a 9-6 lead. Reggie Williams, he turned down the captaincy of his team, didn't feel comfortable with it, so they have one captain now, and Brian Stitt. Tumbo trying to hook, rebound to Kemp. And it comes to Gary Payton. Payton's numbers are up in every department this year. Shot missing, shot, Kemp with a putback.
Yeah, he used his left arm. He kind of moved Batumbo out. Batumbo unhappy, and Denver is unhappy totally, and they're going to take a timeout.
Well, Kemp in the early going was 6 points and 5 rebounds, and we take a break. The Sonics lead it 11-6.
Is there such a thing as a lease that's fun? Well, if it's a lease on a 1995 two-wheel drive Isuzu Rodeo, there is. Because at just $267 a month, it makes enjoying the big-time fun of a rodeo really easy. And if you don't believe us, just look how much fun our lawyers had with it. Geez, guys, not that much fun. Ooh, come on.
Offer not valid on Mars or other non-terrestrial sites.
Sheesh. Isuzu, practically amazing.
It's not just how you play the game. It's how you call for the ball.
Come on, baby, I got him. Give me the rock, baby. We got him. For the road. Yo. Ah! Look at it, baby. Come on, hit me on. Ah! Yeah. Woo!
If you're talking my game,
You don't know, you better ask somebody.
you're talking Foot Locker.
I'm a victim of child abuse. My life has been ruined because someone abused me very badly. Every day I fight to survive the flashbacks and nightmares. The effects are devastating, and for me, it's lasted my whole life. I suffer because I can't trust anyone. I want to fight back. I want people to know it's wrong to abuse children.
Well, we talked about the big upset in the first round, a #1 seed Seattle upset by Denver. Gary Payton had some thoughts about the biggest upset in the history of the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, the team, I think we beat ourselves because of the simple fact is we went in there thinking that this team was an AC team. They weren't, we can beat them just by going in there and stepping on the floor. And the team did what they had to do. A young, good team went and stepped up, and they beat us. And, I think now we don't think about that. I think we just come and play.
I don't know who they're going to face in the playoff. Definitely what I will say, they are not looking for the face us, and maybe they're wishing that the Denver can finish number 8 and they can finish in number 2 in second place so they can play somebody else then instead to go and play against Denver Nuggets.
Well, we'll wait and see.
And then they finally got it. Rodney Rogers almost had a tomahawk follow, and then outside the shot finds the way, and the Sonics lead cut to 2.
Yeah, we hear two people talking there, but I think at this point probably they really don't care. When you get this far along, and there's so many games left to decide exactly what's going to happen.
Yep. Rodney Rogers takes it inside on Payton. Here's Jalen Rose. Rose brings Kemp out. Doesn't get the shot to go. Urban Johnson brings it down.
Shooting is horrendous.
Well, it was 38% at that last break. Denver was 17%. I think that's a good adjective. Horrendous.
Yeah. Sarunas taking the ball to the basket, drawing the foul on Abdul, and that's what he does so well. When we played with Dream Team 1, he was the one guy I was so afraid of in terms of defending him. I thought he might get Michael in trouble from the standpoint of getting to the basket and drawing fouls. And he played for Lithuania. And it was very concerning to me in a 40-minute game that he could get someone in quick foul trouble, which he can do.
Well, he's got that great first step. He slashes, and he's so strong and tough. I mean, he's really a handful. Talking about Sharunas Marcellonis, there's a shot missing by Abdul-Rauf, and he almost swiped that from Detlef Schrempf. Detlef Schrempf having an all-star year. He was one of 3 all-stars and played in Phoenix in February, and this is a guy that George Karl feels has strong considerations for the first all-NBA team. Here's Gary Payton, and the shot not there. Rodney Rogers, and neither team has gotten their shooting together. Denver's 3 of 18 now. Jalen Rose, Dikembe trying to post up inside on Urban Johnson. Reggie Williams with a 3. Rebound is cleared, and Urban Johnson looking very active early in this ball game. He has already 4 rebounds.
Doing a good job defensively getting to the box, and there's a steal.
Reggie Williams ahead to Jalen Rose. Rose, but a follow by Reggie Williams, and Urban Johnson hustled back on the play, but nobody else got back for Seattle.
And Jalen Rose looked over his shoulder at Billy Oaks saying, I'm confident there was a foul there.
So now, Sonics with a 1-point lead. 12-11. Off it comes. Intercepted by Reggie Williams. Nuggets do a good job of covering the passing lanes. That concerned George Karl coming into the ballgame.
Well, Denver's throwing a little trap at him. They're running a second man at the ball when they cross half court, and it's bothering the Nuggets early. The Nuggets will solve it because they're used to that kind of play.
Mutombo kicks it outside to Rodney Rogers. Rogers is playing the power forward. He's more of a 3, though. As the ball deflected, here comes Detlef Schrempf and a reach-in foul on Rodney Rogers. As Dale Ellis and also Brian Stith will be checking in for Denver.
Yeah, Brian Stith, very solid player, very unselfish, and they love him coming off the bench because attitudinal, he handles it very well.
And so Mahmoud will set down. Also grabbing a breather will be Reggie Williams. Brian Stith, in the estimation of Bernie Bickerstaff, was like a starter, and he's handled coming off the bench very well. They called him the ultimate team player.
Yeah, he's an outstanding defensive player. One of those very solid Virginia players. There's so many of them that you watch them play and you see a lot of guys who play exactly like him.
That's an interesting observation. 12-11 now, Seattle by 1. 10 seconds on the shot clock. John Kemp trying to do a one-on-one block by Dikembe, reloads it. He knew Dikembe was there, and he wasn't even close on that shot.
Well, he handles him. He gives him a problem around the lane because he stands there, uses his size, doesn't reach in, doesn't commit fouls.
Gary Payton almost came up with a steal. Seattle leading the NBA in steals, over 11 a game.
Yeah, here's Kemp working. He got a good reverse dribble. Got a little help from the top from Stiff. Gets it. But he knew he was there. He wasn't in position to block the shot, but he knew that Mutombo was there.
Change now. Sam Perkins has checked into the ball game for Seattle. Urban Johnson will check out. Seattle shooting 29%, Denver 19. When Sam Perkins comes in, he really changes the look of the Seattle team.
Yeah, he does, and he's such a great outside shooter, and it's got to give Mutombo a real problem because he can't go out on the floor and play the game that he would like to play, patrolling the lane.
And it comes to Tom Hammonds, who's also checked in. He's been very good off the bench. Rebound inside Brian Stiff, and he draws the foul. So Stiff, Hammonds coming in and instantly impacting the ball game, and Stiff will go to the line. The foul is on Perkins, his first.
Yeah, isn't it amazing what second shots will do? You get them, and you almost always get fouled, but it's so hard to teach guys and get guys to think about second shots, and it's really not difficult because no one checks out. All you've got to do is wade in and get there.
Brian Stiff, good free throw shooter, shoots 83% on the year. He was the co-captain, as we mentioned. Reggie Williams gave up that to Mantle earlier, and now he is their only captain on the team. And this is the first Denver lead of the ball game. They lead at 13-12. They do a little trapping outside on Payton. Payton is so good with the ball. He's mentally so tough.
Yeah, they're really trying to take the ball out of his hands. There they got confused. He comes off an easy screen in the lane, wide open shot.
Gary Payton gives the Sonics a 1-point lead. Jalen Rose played on that team with Chris Webber and Juwan Howard, both of them #1 picks, and of course teammates now with the Bullets. Here's Bryant Stiff inside, a difficult shot, but he drew the foul.
Back to the foul line. One of the great things about getting to the foul line is now you no longer have to worry about transition defense.
14-13. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in Denver.
One engine was filled with Castrol Syntec, a full synthetic oil, the rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec has a unique molecular structure that bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't. Try Castrol Syntec, now also available in the 10W30.
It's been our observation that people don't necessarily like the idea of getting older.
It's a gut be gone. Roy just loves his.
In which case, we have a suggestion.
Ta-da! Now make a wish.
A 175 horsepower Fountain of Youth. The 95 Isuzu Rodeo. Practically amazing.
Kato Kalin is on Larry King Live Friday night. His first live appearance ever. First time ever taking phone calls. Meet Kato Kalin Friday night, 9 Eastern. Larry King Live only on CNN.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Sonics lead it by 1. Chuck, let's see how Gary Payton got so wide open on that shot.
Yeah, here Kemp coming over and setting the screen right here. And you're going to see Payton come off and hold it right there. He is wide open because they didn't do a good job with handling the screen and roll.
He had missed his first 5 shots and hit that one. Denver shooting 18%. Seattle only at 33. An interesting stat, though, Mr. Daly. Denver on the offensive boards getting the better of it, 8-3.
That's keeping them in the basketball game. But if I were George Karl, I'd go right back to that screen and roll, because if it's going to be that wide open, you can get some great shots.
George Karl, the guy who was as stunned as anyone last year with that early exit. Their season ended on May 7th. They don't want that to happen again this season. Stiff hits a free throw, and it's tied at 14.
He told me he's as fatigued as he's ever been, and he's starting to come back. He's a young guy, too. I don't know how you get tired when you're there.
Well, you get aged in a hurry, though, when you coach, right? Here's
That's what happened to me. I'm 25.
I know that. I can't believe it. Payton misses. Sean Kemp with a putback. Sean Kemp very active in the early going. He's been doing most of the damage, as he has 8 rebounds in this game, and also he has 8 points. 16-14, Seattle. Boy, Nate McMillan fighting through the picks inside. He is such a good defensive player. Tom Hammonds trying to body up against Kemp. Hammonds backing in. Kemp staying tough in there. Good defense that time by Sean Kemp. Nate McMillan ahead. Payton releasing early to Marcellus.
We got a little mustard on that baby. Saw it all the way. Transition defense. Drives coaches nuts.
Sonics by 4. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf getting ready to check in. Bryant Stiff out to Hammonds. Swinging around to Ellis. Ellis, the all-time leading three-point field goal shooter, with 1,105. There's a nice pass. Kemp is so tall, he can see over the defender.
Yeah, they're going to have to solve those traps. In order to beat Seattle, you've got to be able to do it. They'll trap out of context, I call it, and you've got to be ready to handle it. You've got to be able to pass on the interior.
They force so many turnovers and so many steals in a game. Sam Perkins, Tom Hamlin was in his face, but suddenly Sam able to give him a 4-point lead once again.
Yeah, he's got a mismatch on the box, and he'll take advantage of it. Took his time, got good position, and wanted a foul.
We go back into Brian Stitt. Stitt is a very strong guy at 6'5". He can go up and post up. Dale Ellis missing his first opportunity. Perkins with the rebound. Here comes Payton. So creative in the open floor. Slashes in and draws the foul.
He gets it coming at you. You better get the ball stopped. It's so imperative to get in front of him, but it's not easy because he's got great handle and he's very, very quick and he can really get the lane. Here's that double team trap. Mutombo finds the lane wide open. They also had the outside position clearly defined. They could get a shot. If they can get it in there, they can get some good shots.
Denver makes the change. Abdul-Rauf comes back into the ball game. Sitting down is Jalen Rose. Gary Payton, you look at his numbers. He's averaging 20 points a game, over 7 assists, shooting 51% from the field and 73% from the free throw line. He was not a good shooter when he first came to the league. He really struggled.
Yeah, well, so many players come into the league and people, they don't draft them for that reason. But what you got to remember, they're going to play 100 games a year. Their shooting automatically is going to get better.
Biggest lead in the ball game right now for Seattle. They're up by 6. Stitt to Mahmoud. Mahmoud may have just passed up a shot. Now ducks in and gets it off the glass.
Right now, Denver will start to look to solve those traps. They'll see what defensive scheme that they have in mind. Detlef, that's, I believe, his first field goal, and he's hardly touched it tonight.
Boy, he is leading the NBA in three-point shooting. That's unbelievable. 55% for three-point land. There's only 2 guys in the NBA at 50% or better. The other, Steve Kerr of the Bulls. There's Payton picking up the foul on Mahmoud. Looking ahead now, the NBA on TNT continues tomorrow. Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic take on Grant Hill and the Pistons. Grant Hill averaging over 27 points a game the last 8. And Shaquille, of course, leading the NBA in scoring. Ron Thulen, Doug Collins will call the game. Always fun to watch Grant Hill. So creative in the open floor.
Yeah, last night Orlando was down big to the Pistons, 51-32 at one point, and came back to win the basketball game. Nick Anderson being carted off, although I understand the injury is not serious.
He had a concussion. You know, Orlando has not been that good on the road. They're 18-17. At home, though, they have been almost unbeatable. Sonics by 4, 24-20. There's Detlef Schrempf having that all-star year backing in. Out it comes to Perkins. Last 2 years, he's led all centers in threes, and he just hit another.
And Detlef Schrempf drawing the double team and knows where Perkins is. They've got the great situation when they get that kind of matchups and positions on the floor.
He's an outstanding three-point shooter at 6'9", and it's 27-20. They're trapping Stitt. Gets it out to Dale Ellis. He'll try to answer the three. It's short. Rebound put back by Gammons. And that will bring us to the end of this first quarter of play. So Sean Kemp with a strong first 12 minutes here in the Mile High City. 8 points, 9 rebounds. Denver shooting only 21% of the first quarter. And Gary Payton and the troops with a 7-point lead.
Monday night, April the 8th, 1974. Henry Aaron is coming to bat. He's sitting on 7-14. This crowd is going
TBS
crazy.
presents the real story of Hank Aaron. Through his eyes and in his own words. Under pressure and under the gun, he hit everything life threw at him. Hank Aaron, Chasing the Dream. A world premiere television event. Wednesday night at 8:05 Eastern.
Only on TBS.
In the preseason, my back hurts. My arms hurt. My legs hurt. My brain hurts. Even my teeth hurt. But come the regular season, it's all worthwhile. Because I get to hurt right back.
From beneath the basket, up on there, wow, a slam dunk.
I can do that. Really? I could. Of course, I'm not quite the leaper I used to be. Time another chip, please.
Eagle smash. What you feed your face?
For years, people have done their thinking on the run. Now, they can do their business on the run, thanks to the breakthrough that fits in your pocket. Zorus, the personal digital assistant from Sharp that gives you the freedom to write it, type it, sign it,
I could do that. Really, I could. Of course, I'm not quite the leaper I used to be. Time another chip, please.
Eagle Smash. What you feed your face?
Sonics, their biggest lead of the game by 7. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, with me, Denver's favorite son, John Elway, the Nuggets' #1 fan, and I also have to tell you, a real good sport for putting up with the antics you just did with the mascot.
Yeah, Rocky likes to pick on me a little bit, but it's always fun to come out.
A lot of changes in the city, not only for the Nuggets, but also for the Broncos. A new coach, Mike Shanahan, a lot of new faces.
Yeah, there is, and we're looking forward to it. Mike's done a great job, and we're turning some people over. Hopefully, we play a little bit better defense. You know, he's got an offensive line, so hopefully we can get the Denver Broncos like the 49ers were last year.
Integral part of the community. At halftime, you're giving away a car?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's a promotional month and doing something with the Nuggets as well as have some be able to give a car and make somebody real happy.
Well, Nuggets #1 fan, John Elway. Back to you, Gary.
Okay, Craig, thank you. Gary Kubiak also coming over with Mike Shanahan for the 49ers. Of course, he was a backup quarterback for so many years to John Elway. Sam Perkins will go to the line. That foul going on Reggie Williams, his first as we start the second quarter.
Yeah, Denver shooting 6 for 28, 1 for 7, 3-point land, and that in your own building won't do you any good.
Yeah, they're not shooting well. Now, Seattle did not shoot well in their loss in Utah. On the other hand, Utah has been shooting so well all season long, was on fire, and this Denver team not starting the way they wanted to start. As Brian Williams now will come in and give Mutombo a breather as we're just underway in the second quarter, 11:35 left to play. Sam Perkins with the second free throw.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a long look at the defense because Seattle is really bothering them, not giving them the kind of shots they're used to.
Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf will bring it up, and part of that defense, Gary Payton. He is so tough outside. Reggie Williams. See what they're doing? There's just no passing lanes. They're really cutting off a lot of the lanes.
Well, they switch everything up and down. It becomes almost a zone defense. Makes it very difficult to attack. You've got to attack it different than anybody you attack in the league.
Mahmoud is now 1 of 6 as Detlef Schrempf takes it inside, and he's fouled. Urban Johnson will come back into the Seattle lineup. Oh, my. Phoenix upset by Golden State Tuesday. They changed their lineup tonight. Paul Westphal benched Dan Marley and Kevin Johnson and started Elliott Perry and Wesley Person in the backcourt.
Obviously, it had no effect. In fact, it reversed itself, unless they can pull out of that one. They're 12-12 since All-Star break.
Well, we talked about Seattle and Phoenix. Now, these two teams meet 2 more times. The next game on TNT Tuesday, and then the season finale will be in Phoenix.
Very well could go down to that final game, and it becomes so important in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time again.
It's a fight right now for the second seed because San Antonio has won 12 in a row right now, has the best record in the West. And right now, as George Karl put it, Seattle, they want to win the Pacific Division. That's their goal right now. They're the defending champions. Out it comes to Brian Stiff. They need something to get going here, and Stiff not able to get as the shot clock expires. Denver right now having a lot of problems. Reggie Williams on the steal, and that might be a big steal to get them started.
Yeah, they need something like that to happen because nothing has happened for them either on post-up or outside shooting. They don't seem to be able to get anything going.
Urban Johnson powers in, doesn't get tipped out to Nate McMillan. McMillan, co-captain of this team, swings it around to Perkins. Sean Kemp with that strong first quarter, backing in on Tom Hammonds. Dump it in to Sam Perkins. He is fouled as he wheels in. And Rodney Rogers will come back into the lineup for the Nuggets. And Tom Hammonds is going to lead. Also now for the first time, Greg Grant. And Greg Grant, not a lot of him, will be coming to the ball game. He's 5'7" out of Trenton State. He was playing for the Mexico Aztecs in the CBA earlier this year. He's had stints with the Suns and Knicks and Hornets. And with all the injuries, now getting some playing time.
Yeah, and I think Verity is also saying, hey, I don't like the way this game's going. Maybe we get this guy going. We get some transition because he can push the ball. He's much like Muggsy Bogues.
Well, Bernie Bickerstaff not happy with the beginning. The crowd very quiet. They haven't had a chance really to get into this ball game. It's a 10-point lead now for Seattle. There's a pass intended for Brian Williams. He didn't even see it. Off it comes to Detlef Schrempf. Detlef kicks it out to Nate McMillan. McMillan, who makes everything fit together. He's kind of the glue. Many times, George Karl will tell you this might be our most valuable player. McMillan does so many things well for this team. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Detlef Schrempf backing in. They come on the double. And Schrempf not able to get it. Brian Williams gives him some size. And he's been hurt most of the year for the Nuggets. The trailer, Rodney Rogers. Brian stiff. And we're going to have a foul on Brian Williams. He decked Detlef Schrempf as he tried to set up a screen.
Yeah, moving screen because Grant was already on the move. Watch right here. Here's Stiff coming off the screen, and he moves in the screen. And then Detlef took a little bit of a dive there.
Little flopmeister there, huh? 10-point lead for Seattle. Right now, Denver really not in sync. They're having a lot of problems. Part of it you got to give Seattle credit for. Play good defense. There was good defense that time. Perkins forced one up. John Kemp, the putback, tipped up again. Irvin Johnson will try to go up, and he's fouled. And Seattle really hitting the offensive board.
Shot after shot on the board. They're going to their post-up game, forcing double teams. Makes it very, very easy for them. Bernie's shaking his head. Said, Dale, get back in there. We need some offense.
This Denver Ball Club had won 4 in a row before losing Tuesday to the Lakers here. And they took him down to the wire as Irvin Johnson hits the free throw. Ellis will come in, and Ellis could be the guy that could jumpstart this ball club. He has that outside range ability. He's missed 2 shots thus far in a ball game.
I think Denver might be able to sneak up on a lot of clubs because of their start this year. But one club they can't sneak up on is the club they're playing tonight.
Why would that be, Chuck, do you think?
I bet you can figure it out. We've alluded to it enough.
Yes, we have. Greg Grant off to Dale Ellis. Grant will try one from outside, and so Greg Grant buries one. He's played very little for this Denver team. That cuts the Sonics lead to 10. Schrempf gets it in. Sean Kemp, big drop step, changed the shot. Rebound, Reggie Williams. Reggie Williams, the elder statesman on this ball club. Such a savvy player. We mentioned since Bernie Bickerstaff has come aboard, he's had a renaissance to his game. Ellis has missed his 3rd shot. He'll try his 4th shot, and he's still 0 for 4, and he needs to get it going.
And it won't matter. The next one that comes down the pike, he'll take. Shooters never give up on it. They're going to make the next one.
No conscience, right?
And here's Detlef Schrempf, a long 3-pointer.
Leading the NBA in that department. 81 threes now for the year, and we have timeout. And Bernie Bickerstaff calls timeout, down 37-24.
David Carradine stars in Kung Fu, the movie, after the game on TBS.
There's a new Dodge Neon starting to show up out there. And lurking under its hood is a 150 peak horsepower surprise. Look for details in the fast lane. Say hello to the other Dodge Neon, the Sport Coupe. Get up to $1,200 off Dodge Neon during the Dodge National Best Buy sale.
It's not just how you play the game. It's how you call for the ball.
Come on, baby, I got him. Give me the rock, baby. We got him. For the road. Yo. Ah! Looking at it, baby. Come on, hit me on. Hit me on. Ah! Yeah. Woo!
If you're talking my game,
You don't know, you better ask somebody.
you're talking Foot Locker.
They're poppable and handy, the perfect bite-sized candy. For good times, they're just dandy. Nestle Bunch of Crunch. They're crispy and they're crunchy, a chocolate-covered munchie. You love them by the bunchy. Nestle Bunch of Crunch. Munch. Bunch. A crunch. They're quirky and they're fun, so look out, here they come. Now get your hands on some Nestle Bunch of Crunch.
Begin Thursday, April 27th on TNT and TBS. We'll have doubleheaders on both networks beginning on the 27th. Boy, this game has not gone the way Denver like to have it. They're just not shooting the ball at all.
Struggling from the 3-point line in particular. 1 for 8 and shooting 24% overall.
You can see the Sonics a little better. Rodney Rogers misses again. They're just not getting good looks, are they?
Well, Seattle comes out with that double team, and they're not patient, and they're not getting the ball inside where they have to become more effective.
John Kemp has 14 rebounds in this game. Detlef Schrempf kicks it outside to McMillan. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Detlef wide open. What a stroke. He has been unbelievable in the words of George Karl. He has done it all this year, shooting the ball so well as Reggie Williams counters at the other end. Tom Hammond's getting ready to come back into the Denver lineup. 7:27 to go in the second quarter. 39-26 Seattle. Detlef with that little head fake, ball fake.
Seattle, a very veteran, patient club.
John Kemp wheels in, and Del Wallace tried to stop him, reached in, and they're going to count it. That basket will count.
It looked to me like it was one step too many.
I did
that
too.
Is a long. Look at this continuation. You want to talk about continuation? This is it. Bang, foul right there. And yeah, because he stayed up there and kind of tomahawked it with one hand.
See, now that you're not coaching anymore, you can see these on replay, and you can see that those guys are right more often than you thought.
They are very, very good.
Kemp with 11 points, 14 rebounds now in the ball game. And this game is fast getting away from the Nuggets if they don't get something going quickly. And inside, Tom Hammonds has it rejected. Detlef Schrempf to Kemp. They're just hammering away right now. And Kemp draws another foul to Kembe. In dismay, commits the foul. Gary Payton will come back into the Seattle lineup.
Goes up. He thinks he's going to get that shot off. No way. He got him on the left. He got him on the arm.
John Kemp wishing that one in. Brian Stith now comes back into the Denver lineup.
Yeah, Seattle gives you so many problems. One, they're an up-tempo club all the way offensively. They change defenses on you. They'll play you straight. They'll come with a double team. And then they're very patient. They got a lot of post-up people. So they're a very, very difficult club to play and to get ready for.
And they don't have Kendall Gill, who really helps their defense. Those long arms and coming out of those trapping situations. Got the update on that. Craig Sager talking about that he could be back at the end of next week. Reggie Williams will take Perkins inside to Dikembe. Dikembe blocked by Irvin Johnson. A jump ball, and Irvin Johnson, who hasn't played that many minutes, but leads the team on shots blocked per minute with 43, got one there.
Yeah, he came from behind, but Tumble thought he was wide open. Watch carefully. He comes inside. He comes in and clearly gets it from behind. But Tumble wants a foul, but he had the ball from behind clearly.
Irvin Johnson now with 3 blocks and 5 rebounds. They're going to jump it again. Now, Irvin Johnson was not a factor last year in the playoffs. That could be a real advantage for George Karl.
Yeah, his size, rebounding. It's those 10, 12 minutes he could give them against big centers, which he can be very effective in the playoffs.
Detlef misses the 3. Mutombo with a rebound and a foul on Kemp. And so that's his second. Of course, Seattle also have Bill Cartwright. He had some surgery on some bone chips on his elbow. He should return very soon, and he's been in those playoff wars before.
Talk about an elder statesman.
Mutombo in this ball game is 0 for 4 in the ball game. He has not scored tonight. Now he maybe will, as he's fouled from behind, and that could be the 3rd on Kemp. John Kemp has picked up his 3rd, and he's upset, and he's fouling Billy Oakes out.
He better be careful. He's going to say something on his way out of the game.
He's still having some parting shots, as you can see. So Kemp with a strong game, but he's going to have to sit down now. 12 points in the ball game and 14 rebounds. Mutombo looking to score his first point of the night.
And it still isn't here.
Dikembe, who's been an outstanding shot blocker. And you know, Chuck, he could end up leading the league in rebounding because Dennis Rodman may not get the minimum number of rebounds to qualify.
Yeah, he probably won't now with the injuries in. He could end up as the leader. He is struggling tonight.
So that would be a double-double in the true sense of the word, leading in shots blocked as well as rebounds. Heinz seconds on the shot clock. Payton clears outside. Rebound by Mutombo. That's 5 now for Dikembe. To Hammond.
Grant got that break going, and that's where they're going to have to get started on the defensive end. They're going to be able to do it with Kemp out of the game because Kemp has been a terrorist on the offensive board and really solved a lot of the Sonics' problems of missed shots early by getting second shots. They now can get back in the game if they can get some individual stops.
Payton using his height advantage. Grant has no chance when they get it that low.
No, and that's an intelligent team that knows they have that mismatch.
Payton 2 of 9 from the field. A tumble swarmed by Irvin Johnson. He picks up the foul. I don't know how he could be upset about that call. He smothered him. He was all over him on that play. Go back to that one basket you were talking about.
Yeah, here's the defensive part. If they get the rebound, they get it quickly out to Grant, and Grant pushes it quickly, catches Rogers on the move, and gets an easy field goal.
Back to the live action. Illegal defense against Seattle. That's the first, a warning. At the 5:04 mark, Denver will inbound. George Karl, who won his 300th game in his coaching career this season. He's won 71% of his games since being the head coach of the Sonics. Greg Grant into, look at that. Hey, so quick on the steal that time. He is 3rd in the league in steals. You can see why. That ball deflected out of bounds, and with 19 seconds on the shot clock, Seattle will have it. Here comes Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf back in the ballgame.
Bernie really searching around, making quick substitutions, trying to get a group together that can make something happen. He knows his club's in trouble, and he'll keep searching around.
Abdul-Rauf coming in 1 of 6 thus far in the ballgame. Payton creating for Detlef Schrempf. The 3's not there. Mutombo. Mahmoud can shoot you back in the ballgame. He goes in those streaks. Tom Hammonds, they leave him wide open, and Mutombo tries to keep it alive and does. And we have a foul on Irvin Johnson. So Mutombo now starting to acquit himself inside.
Yeah, he can get some rebounds. If he'll hang around the lane, and they're shooting so poorly, certainly there's enough shots around there. Here's Mutombo running into the lane. Whoa! How about that elbow? And he gets pushed from behind.
Well, he is a warrior. That's the first thing that came out of Bernie Bickerstaff's mouth was, what do you want to say about Dikembe? He is a warrior. He has 7 rebounds now and 2 points in the ball game. He wants to win so badly, and he works hard at it. 45-31, Seattle.
Mutombo started 236 straight games, 3rd most in the NBA.
Bernie thought he was worn down a little bit, gave him some minutes off, and his numbers are starting to go up. Mahmoud almost pulled off the steal, and then it's whistled with a foul.
Seattle goes right to the mismatch. They've got Payton, and they're going to try to get Rauf in trouble, and they get an opportunity to go the line here.
Well, that's the 3rd foul on Mahmoud. He's going to have to come right back out of the ball game. Jalen Rose will check in at the conclusion of tonight's game. Chuck Daly and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. Gary Payton makes it 46-31. So Kemp is down with 3 fouls. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf sits down with 3. Mutombo starting now to elevate his game. He has 8 rebounds tonight. Went a long time until he was able to score. Reggie Williams to the 3. Follows his own shot. And not there at all, but it's going to be off the Schrempf. Denver will get it back. 4:02 to go in the first half.
Bernie Bickerstaff, knowing that his club is young, being very positive on the bench, trying to keep his guys in the game. A lot of guys would get upset, start, complaining to the players. He's not doing that.
Ryan Stitt ran into a wall that time, and then he's called for an offensive foul. He was bent backwards when he ran into the Sonic, and then ends up with the offensive foul. He charged inside, and he ran into Steve Scheffler, and Scheffler is a solid wall to hit. There's Scheffler, number 55. Here's Payton now. He won't be able to post up Jalen Rose. He's 6'8".
Jalen will have other problems like trying this off, but he catches and throw it away.
So Payton turns it over. George Karl not liking now that Seattle not quite as patient on offense as they were earlier. Denver still only shooting 26% from the field. That's not going to get it done. Tom Hammonds wheels in, and Schrempf picks up the foul, and Seattle's committing a lot of fouls now.
Yeah, they're getting the ball inside, and they're just going to the basket. Sometimes when you're not shooting well, the only thing you can do is try to take it to the basket and draw fouls.
Tom Hammonds will go to the line. Talk about a work ethic. This guy really works hard. He's always ready. Comes off the bench, gives them some quality minutes. Here's Bernie, the new president and head coach now of the Denver Nuggets.
Got his first ejection the other night.
Yeah.
I don't think he realized the prices have gone up. So he, it's $1,000. Used to be $250. Might have only been $200 when he was the head coach before.
7-3 here, McNichols. 13-12 before. And 14-8 overall with Bernie. And as we mentioned, he was the coach of the month in March. 10-5. That was the best record the Nuggets had had since November of '89.
That was probably Doug Moe years, right?
Yeah, it would have been. By the way, Doug Moe has a radio show here now in Denver.
I understand the talk show. I can't imagine spending 2 hours in one place and listening to those people, but they tell me he has a talk show.
Well, you ought to call in. That would be fun to listen to. 3:24 now left in this first half.
First thing you'd say, you stiff.
Oh, nice pass. Nate McMillan blocked, though, by Reggie Williams, and a jump ball. They're going to call a jump. Good recovery that time by Williams after a very good pass from Nate McMillan.
This was great basketball. The pass from the top comes off. Scheffler should have scored on this, but he didn't get elevated. If he would have taken a bounce, got himself in better position basket, but he thought he was so wide open. You're right. The defensive part of it was, which is what made the play.
Out it comes now to Tom Hammonds. Jalen Rose is back in now for Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, has 3 fouls. That's a tough play on the baseline. Instantly, they trap Hammonds. Almost stolen by Payton. And Jalen Rose, they rotated well that time with the pressure.
Yeah, and Denver has got to make, they're making one pass and then trying to do something. You've got to make the extra pass and then attack the basket. It's a 2-pass attack rather than 1.
And that's exactly what they did, Chuck.
Yeah, here's one pass, almost got intercepted. This time he makes the second pass, but they can even make another pass, and they're going to get someone wide open on the weak side.
46-35, a little mini comeback by the Nuggets.
TBS NBA Thursday is brought to you by the new Dodge and by Baby Ruth from Nestle.
Want to make a Consumer's Digest best buy and even better buy? Well, right now, we're offering $1,000 cash back on every Dodge Caravan. Not just some, every one. Add in up to $1,100 in package value discounts, and you can take up to $2,100 off America's best-selling minivan. Or choose 4.9 financing instead. So hurry to the Dodge National Best Buy sale. Right now, current Chrysler Corporation minivan owners get an additional $500 cash.
Well, the Nuggets have cut it to 11. They've trailed by as many as 17. Coming up at halftime, the Reebok halftime report. Fred Hickman, Dick Versace in Atlanta studios. And they're going to be joined by Pacers head coach Larry Brown. That's the Reebok halftime report. Those Indiana Pacers, they get to the playoffs. No one's going to want to play them.
No, they're for real. I watched them in New York the other night defeat the Knicks in the Madison Square Garden, and that's the count. You know you got a good basketball team when you can do that.
Rick Schmitz has really picked up his game at center. Keep Dale Davis healthy. Nate McMillan backing it out now. Still 11-point lead for the Sonics. 5 seconds on the shot clock, and Schrempf is fouled as reaching across was Jalen Rose. When they get that ball into Detlef, he's always under control, isn't he?
Yeah, he'll look for his opportunity. He'll take one dribble away from the basket. He'll be looking for the double team. If it doesn't come, then he'll try to spin it because he's got a total game. I mean, he can put it on the floor. He can fall away, jump shoot. He's got it all, and an excellent passer.
What was it George Karl said? Every time that ball goes into him, something good happens. Schrempf hits that free throw. He's shooting 83% from the line. He has 10 points. Washington still leading the Suns. Washington's lost 8 in a row, and that's a makeup game. The Suns had to make up that game because of the condensation on the floor.
Exactly.
And so they had to make the long trip from San Francisco after losing Tuesday to Golden State. 47-35, Seattle. Tempo on the two-man game. Jalen Rose tracked it down. And they said he stepped out of bounds, so it'll go back to Seattle. Again, they didn't look like they were under control that time down the floor.
Well, they got it into the post, made the cuts, but they made some very bad passes out of the double team.
Here's Steve Scheffler, who played at Purdue. It was a Big Ten Player of the Year his senior year and led the nation in field goal percentage. Schrempf dumps it off to Payton. Payton creating. Out to McMillan, a three. Mutombo. 10 rebounds now for Mutombo, who's second in the league coming in here, averaging 12.4 a game. Reggie Williams gets it out to Stith again, trying to show a little patience against the trap.
Seattle really pressuring defensively, getting out, making it very difficult. They'll take chances with the ball. Then they end up settling for that long shot.
Yeah, and not a shot they really want. It just doesn't look decisive at all. Denver is now 1 of 10 from three-point land, and they're Stith with the steal. Ryan Stith, and they're going to call a foul on Marciulionis, so he'll go to the line for a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, down 10, they convert on this one. They're only down 9. Stith on the move. Decides to take a kind of a touch foul, but he did get fouled. The ones you want are those touch fouls to make sure that you do get called, because if you missed the layup, you're saying, hey, he's fouled. That's why he missed the layup.
So as you mentioned, it's now a 9-point game after trailing by as many as 17. The crowd now starting to get in it with a minute 18 left in the first half. Payton backing in on Reggie Williams. He just took him inside. He could do nothing with it. Gary Payton with a complete game so quick. A minute left now. That ball almost got away from Jalen Rose. Into Dikembe. Dikembe with Sam Perkins on him. Little hook is not there. Detlef Schrempf with the rebound.
Yeah, Dikembe at 54% shooting. There's an easy shot.
A beautiful pass. Almost Dikembe with another rejection. That's 4 blocks, and Jalen Rose inadvertently tripped as he tries to go up the floor, and the Nuggets will be going to the free throw line. Let's go back to Gary Payton. He is so much fun. He's so creative.
Watch him. He just freezes them, and then that quick first step. Watch coming back here. This is shot blocking. You would have thought that was an easy field goal. Mutombo makes it look easy defensively.
So Jalen Rose then is fouled at the other end. He's at the free throw line. Rose, 73% free throw shooter, and Myron Houston now comes into the ball game for the first time. We get a big body in there. Nate McMillan will leave. Nate McMillan's been slowed with the flu, hasn't felt real well. And also Cliff Livingston, who won 2 rings with the Chicago Bulls, solid in his own right. So 2 big bodies come in here with a matter of 41 seconds left in the half. Rose got them both. 9-point game.
I tell you, if you're Bickerstaff and the Denver Nuggets, you got to be happy the way they have played.
Payton tries a 3, Stith with a rebound, and he kept even closer. A team that struggled shooting so poorly in this ball game. They're now up to 28% and only down in this game by 9 points. And Hammonds and Myron Houston, a little sumo wrestling inside, and Houston is a big body guy, and that time he draws the foul, but boy, he will get on you inside.
Very physical player, using him late. They don't want to get any key fouls on key people, but here we have a chance to get within 7.
Yeah, and again, not shooting well, struggling, and just fighting their way back. And so Bernie Bickerstaff has got to be pleased with 21 seconds left in this half. Bernie, of course, used to coach the Seattle Sonics for 5 years, took over the Western Conference Finals 1 year. He was the NBA Coach of the Year in '87, and he wants a 20-second timeout. A 20 with 21 seconds left in this first half. And I think the crowd sensing, as is Seattle, that this game could now start to turn around a little bit, and George Karl's got to be concerned.
You remember when Kemp went out of the game, what we talked about? It's all the difference in the world because of his ability to get second shots, and they're not the same basketball team. That's why I think if you're going to play Seattle in a crucial game, you better attack Kemp as many times you can. Try to get him in some kind of foul trouble because he is so good around the basket.
And that's what he did. He got into foul trouble with 3. He has 12 points and 14 rebounds. Denver on a 13-4 run right now.
And really not playing good basketball. They haven't really shot it that well. They haven't passed it that well, but they're able to hang around.
Tom Hammonds is 2 of 2 from the stripe this far. Seattle's had 1 field goal in the last 5 minutes.
I sense they'll probably get the ball in Schrempf's hands here. Now,
and there's Cliff Livingston going for the steal. Archelonis retrieves it. 9 seconds. You see the time on the screen. Hey, broken up nicely by Reggie Williams. He reached in, and now we're going to have a foul. Bill Oakes spots the foul in the corner on Reggie Williams. He batted it away, but they were able to recover it back, and then he picks up the foul.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Denver did not want. They had the clock almost run down. They did not want to put him on the line. Now with 3.6, Bernie having used his 20-second timeout, they've got to have a set play in advance, the play that they use all the time to try to get the ball up court.
See the numbers on Detlef Schrempf. 3 of 4 from the free throw line. That foul actually went on Cliff Livingston, not on Reggie Williams. As now Greg Grant will come in to push it up the floor with 3.6 seconds left.
Some people have a drill. And Golden State is one club. A lot of collegiate clubs use it. But you got to take the ball out of bounds and dribble it yourself and try to score under 6 seconds. But we only have 3.6, so he's going to have to get some people down court.
It's a Tyus Edney drill. UCLA against Missouri this year in the NCAA. There they go. Let's see how quickly they can get it up. Jalen Rose is going to get a pretty good look. No, he didn't get it off. Looked like he was going to get a pretty good-looking shot. Waited too long, and the clock expired, and we've come to the halfway point of the ball game.
And not bad. Denver getting back in the game, only 8 down.
And Sean Kemp with a strong first half. Mutombo starting to come on now. You know, the scoring not indicative of how he started to bring him back with his rebounding and shot blocking.
Yeah, shot blocking in particular has been very important.
An 8-point game, and coming up, the Reebok halftime report.
Catch Inside Stuff Saturday mornings.
We gave Dodge Ram the most powerful overall line of truck engines on the planet. A driver's side airbag. The option of 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. A cab designed to set the standard for comfort and room. Then, after we made Ram that good, we made it this bad. Introducing the new Ram Sport. At America's truck stop, the new Dodge.
Coast to coast. From small communities to urban America. By building on the success of local independent businesses, this once little-known company has quietly grown surprisingly big. In fact, today it serves you at over 13,000 locations across America. More than any of these companies you already know. Citgo, the sign of quality.
Hey, everybody's talking about the Ace Springtacular sale.
Sure could use some pruners right now.
I could really dig a new shovel.
The Ace Springtacular sale. Hurry in to see what all the talk's about.
There's something about my hat that makes me feel mellow. When I wear it, I just want to chill. Some teams think I should wear it, even when I play. Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic NBA licensed products.
Everybody's talking about the Ace Springtacular sale.
I only dine at the finest trash cans.
I could really dig a new shovel.
The Ace Springtacular sale. Hurry in to see what all the talk's about.
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok.
So half the story has been authored in Denver, where the Seattle Supersonics leading the Nuggets 50-42. This is the Reebok Halftime Report. I'm Fred Hickman here in Atlanta, along with Dick Versace. And Dick, your impressions of that first half?
Well, it looked like Seattle was going to blow them out, and Denver made a nice run at them. And Denver's a team, I think, well coached right now by Bernie Bickerstaff and possessed to get that 8th spot in the playoffs.
Well, we have 3 chairs on the set tonight. Joining us here at the half is head coach Larry Brown of the Indiana Pacers. 48 wins on the season, that franchise's NBA record.
Larry, I got to ask you. Michael Jordan comes back, and right away you say, okay, they're going to win it all.
Carolina guy.
Larry, you guys are 22 games above 500, and you're playing terrific basketball, but there are those in the league who are saying that you don't have the offense to win it all, to which you say?
Well, last year we didn't have a lot of offense. You know, when you have Reggie, you have somebody capable of scoring, but we won because we defended well and rebounded well, and we got points off our defense. And I think if you're going to play playoff basketball, those are, you know, areas that you really have to excel in.
Oh, you got the 4th best defense in the league right now. Sit tight with us. We'll be back with Larry Brown and more of the Reebok Halftime Report right after this.
AT&T, this is Carla.
Carla, this calling circle thing is too much for me. The TV ads, they're calling me at home. My terrier's less tenacious.
You want AT&T True Savings.
Yeah?
It's the best way to save without circles.
Good, because I want simple.
Sign up, make $10 in calls a month, and we'll subtract 25% off your AT&T bill.
25% off to who?
To anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody in the U.S.
Hooray, you signed me up, because, you know, are you married?
AT&T True Savings. Save 25% to anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Your true voice.
There's a place in the Big Apple where New Yorkers rush to be on the cutting edge. It's Jean-Louis David, a touch of Paris right in the middle of Manhattan. So if you're looking for a new you, drop in anytime at any of their locations. You don't need an appointment, just your Visa card. Because when it comes to your hair and Jean-Louis David, American Express just won't cut it. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
John, how you doing? You know, AutoZone customers are pretty special. I mean, they take great pains in doing a job just right. So they know exactly what they want. That's why we carry so many parts. And also why we price them so low every day of the week. Because you gotta admire a guy who'll tackle a job like putting in a starter, a water pump, a rack and pinion. And you gotta give a guy like that exactly what he wants. The right parts and the right price.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. How come?
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
And welcome back to the Reebok Halftime Report. The Sonics leading the Nuggets in Denver 50-42. Now, getting you up to speed on other action around the NBA tonight. The Phoenix Suns making up that rained-out game with the Bullets. You know, they had condensation on the floor December 6th. Danny Ainge hits his 1,000th three-pointer of his career. Only 2 other guys have done it, Reggie Miller and Dale Ellis. But the Bullets are leading by 7 in that game. Rockets and the Warriors. No Akeem and no Max for the 5th straight game for Houston. That one comes up later. Also, the Spurs and the Kings. Spurs have won 12 straight. The Kings tied with the Nuggets for that 8th and last Western Conference playoff spot. Larry Brown is here with us, head coach of the Indiana Pacers. And Larry, let me ask you a little bit about Mark Jackson. When you picked up this guy coming into this season, a lot of people thought he was the instant answer, the guy that was going to get you all the way to the finals and through to the championship. Do you think that was fair?
No, I really don't. And I think that was a problem with Mark early on. He accepted a lot of responsibility, and I think he put pressure on himself. Last year, we had quality point guard play. You know, Vern Fleming and Haywood Workman gave us a chance to win an NBA championship. We got within a few seconds in a last shot of getting to the finals, and you don't do that without quality point guard play. But I think lately Mark's settled down. He's playing very well. He's defending better. Seems to be much more comfortable.
Does your team believe that they can actually get there, you know, to really accomplish something of the consequence of getting to an NBA Finals and then winning it? They really have to believe it. Do they believe it?
I think they believe it. You know, I've always had the attitude that, you know, coming from college, if you get into the tournament, don't be just satisfied getting there. You might as well try and win it all. And it's the same kind of feeling I think you got to express to your team. You know, it's nice getting to the tournament, getting to the playoffs, but you might as well try and win it all. There's nothing to worry about. You know, and we actually did get to the finals of the conference. We never had won a playoff series before. We've never had a home court advantage before. So there's a lot of areas that I think you know, we tested last year, and we should have tremendous confidence going into the playoffs.
Larry, throughout your career, you've been known as a teaching coach, and that's the thing you'll love about the game more than anything else. But I'm interested, with all of the crybaby articles we've been seeing and the rookies with the guaranteed salaries and all that, your opinion, what is the state of the game today?
Well, I think having Michael back is a tremendous plus, not because of who he is in terms of how people perceive him, but it's because of what he stands for and the way he plays. And then I think this rookie crop that we got in this year is sensational. They play the right way. They play hard. They seem to me to accept coaching. You know, we do have some guys in the league that don't accept coaching. I think it's made it difficult for a lot of coaches. But we have some young kids that have come into the league now that I think, you know, the Grant Hills, the Jason Kidds, the Robinsons, they play the right way. And I think it makes our league strong for the future.
Larry, thanks a lot for coming by. We sure appreciate your time. We needed a guy who could outdress this guy anyway.
No, I always watch you guys, so it's nice to be here.
Thank you very much. Larry Brown of the Indiana Pacers. The Reebok Halftime Report continues right after this.
Damn you. Every wall in the house for backboard.
He looks just like me anyway, so I think he got that from me. That's the boy! He can do that maneuvering and get by. I like to see Kenny when he steals it. He can steal a ball. Ow! 58 feet out. Switch. He makes me feel 10 feet tall just to talk about him. Kenny would get it. Guess he got it from his mama.
Listen, this stuff that we make, it's powerful. It makes you powerful. Stuff that we make, it's powerful. Take it. Listen. Gather up your ideas, run with it. It makes you powerful. Just do something amazing. We're in your corner. We can't wait to see what you're going to do. The stuff that we make, listen.
There are no medals for being the shoulder to cry on. No songs of praise for keeping traditions alive. But to the men who give their best every day, we offer our best. Gillette Sensor XL. Spring-mounted blades and microfins to set up your beard. And Gillette Series shaving gel for incredible smoothness. Sensor XL, the world's best shave. And sometimes that's its own reward. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Why do I think the Whopper just beat the Big Mac 2-to-1 in a taste test? We'll think about it.
The Whopper is one big, juicy, flame-broiled burger complemented by the perfect-sized bun.
The Big Mac, on the other hand, is stacked bread with 2 smaller fried burgers in between. Bun, burger, bun, burger, bun.
Say that 3 times fast.
Better yet, don't. You might sprain your tongue. And then how would you eat your Whopper?
The burger that beat the Big Mac. The Whopper Value Meal for $2.99 at Burger King.
Sunday, a legendary lawman. A young woman out to find her father's killer.
My God, she reminds me of me.
John Wayne in his Oscar-winning performance, True Grit. 10:35 Eastern, Sunday on TBS.
The Reebok halftime report continuing. A little baseball business to get to. The Montreal Expos have traded outfielder Marquise Grissom to Atlanta for outfielders Roberto Kelly and Tony Tarasco, also a minor league pitcher. And the Kansas City Royals have dealt Cy Young Award-winning pitcher David Cone back to the Toronto Blue Jays for 3 minor leaguers. So the promised crunch appears to be hitting those small market baseball clubs. But back to basketball, the Indiana Pacers, Larry Brown, he's got a good thing going.
Now, I'm not saying it because I used to coach the Pacers, and I'm not saying it because Larry was just here, but the Indiana Pacers are the most dangerous team in both conferences.
They say it's the loudest building in the NBA where you need to go play, Marcus Square Arena. Anyway, that is the Reebok halftime report. We'll get back to Denver where the Nuggets and the Sonics are going at it. The rest of the story with Gary and Chuck right after this.
The Reebok Halftime Report has been brought to you by Reebok.
They're poppable and handy, the perfect bite-sized candy. For good times, they're just dandy. Nestle Bunch of Crunch, they're crispy and they're crunchy. A chocolate-covered munchie, you love them by the bunchy. Nestle Bunch of Crunch, munch, bunch, a crunch. They're quirky and they're fun, so look out, here they come. Now get your hands on some Nestle Bunch of Crunch.
Wayne Winfield and Ron Williams were two of the most heavily recruited high school kids in the country. Of course, it wasn't for their game, it was for their minds. And thanks to the Navy College Fund and the Montgomery GI Bill, they have a chance to really use them because they can earn up to $30,000 for college. So, even if the NBA isn't in their future, I guess that's game. A BA is. For more information, call 1-800-USA-NATE.
%100% cotton, wrinkle-free Dockers. Pants so soft, they shrug off wrinkles.
Every year, more than 17 million cars are entrusted to the experience of Jiffy Lube. More than 17 million cars are entrusted to the experience of Jiffy Lube. And Jiffy Lube offers Pennzoil. Jiffy Lube, the world's most experienced oil changers. That's why if it doesn't say Jiffy Lube, it just isn't Jiffy Lube.
Sonics lead it by 8. They led by as many as 17 in the first half. Gary Bender along with Chuck Daly. But when Sean Kemp went down with his third foul, they were up by 17, 6 minutes to go, and then outscored by 9.
Well, his offensive and defensive rebounding, particularly around the basket, it's a different club without him. He dominates in the middle. And he hasn't done that against Mutombo historically.
You know, if Denver starts shooting anything at all, you'd figure they could really get something done. They're 1 of 10 from three-point land.
Yeah, but part of the problem is they're not getting good looks because the Seattle defense double teaming, keeping them off balance, makes it very difficult for them to get any kind of rhythm. If they can get the ball inside, make 2 passes, then they can get some good shots.
Well, Denver has a missing link right now, and with him is going to be Craig Sager. Let's join he and LaFonso Ellis.
A year ago, LaFonso averaged 15 points, 9 rebounds, and helped lead the Nuggets on that exciting playoff run. This year, your season ended before it began. The knee injury, the surgery. According to our notes, you're out for the year. But I saw you at practice yesterday. You ran the court well. If the team makes the playoffs, any chance you'll come back?
I don't think so. At this point, I'm trying to play it safe and not let anything recur and just go ahead and rest over the summer and lift weights as much as I can to start to do more basketball things. So I don't think I'll be able to make it back this season.
All the changes here, 3 coaches in 1 season. What went wrong?
I don't know. I think they thought it was time for a change. We're a very young but talented team, and they wanted to see some production on the floor, which we were making steady progress, but of course not as quick as they wanted. But I think now with Bernie at the head, we're doing a tremendous job right now. We've done a good job of getting ourselves back out of the tank. Got a lot of good chemistry right now, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
We'll have a healthy return.
Thank you.
Great young man, LaFonso Ellis, played collegiately at Notre Dame, and they miss his rebounding, his defense. They could move Rodney Rogers to the 3 when they get him back.
A question for you, if he were here, would Dan Issel still be coaching?
Well, you don't ask any tough questions, do you? Thanks, Chuck. Thanks a lot. Out it comes now as the Nuggets reset it, just underway in the second half.
That's what happens so often in this league, though. One guy goes down, and he's so instrumental in success. And then everybody fragments, so we've got to make change here, change there. What are we going to do? And you've got to be realistic about it. You get a big piece that goes down, you've got a problem.
Well, Gene Little's replaced Dan Issel as the interim coach. He went 3-13. Then Bernie's come in. He's 14-8 since that time. There's a very dangerous pass. Mahmoud trying to load one up. He hit it. It's a 2. Mahmoud hitting a 2. They were 1 of 10 from three-point land in the first half, and Mahmoud was 1 of 6. Payton backing it out. Closest they've been in some time, down by 6. Sam Perkins starting the second half instead of Irvin Johnson. Marciulionis will try a 3. Sharunas Marciulionis, who's the first guy to ever come from the old Soviet Union to play in the NBA. You were concerned about him when you were coaching that dream team once. As it comes in now to Jalen Rose. Pretty good patience right now by Denver.
The unfortunate part is they're down to 7 seconds. Now they've got to get a quick one up.
Rodney Rogers with good range from outside, but Tumble tries to keep it alive, and he can't. It comes out to Gary Payton. Heads to Kemp, and Jalen Rose trying to go for the steal, saves it in, but it's going to Gary Payton. And what do we got here? We're going to have a foul, evidently. A reach-around foul. Is that what they're going to call? No, they're going to reset the shot clock. Evidently, it was not reset. So they'll reset it. They now have 22 on it, and they'll inbound on the far side. A little confusion there as Bill Oakes spots it, sets it up again, and another foul. Foul away from the ball.
Yeah, an offensive foul. Looks like a screening foul.
It's on Marciulionis. And Sharunas with his second foul of the night. 53-44. So we're just underway in the second half. 10-21. As this Denver team 20-15 at home. Trying to climb within 1 game of 500. There's Sean Kemp making his presence felt in a hurry. He got a piece of that shot. Detlef Schrempf backing in on the tumble.
15 assists in the first half. That tells you something about the way the game is being played.
Marciulionis able to beat Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf to the ball. The fans didn't like it. They thought there should have been a foul. And Marciulionis now has scored 5 big points here at the start of the second half. He hit the 3 from outside and then the finger roll. He has a game high now, 13 points, 55-44. Sam Perkins with a defensive effort on the tumble, swinging hook. Perkins with a rebound.
When you go to the single coverage, and Tumble then has to make something happen because there was no double team to make anything else happen.
Rodney Rogers tries to draw the foul. Sean Kemp just kept elevating, but does get it to go, and it's going to go off of Tumble. You see Sean Kemp, he just kept going up on that shot. He had to change it in midair. He just kept climbing. He has 16 rebounds tonight.
Good call by the official, and a tough call because it could have gone either way simply because of the way the people were configured in the lane.
Payton out to Sam Perkins. You have to extend the defense with his range. Kemp backing it on to Dikembe. Dikembe out, made him change the shot, and he hit it anyway.
Fade away, up and under. That's an all-star play.
Yes, it is. 14 points to go, 16 rebounds for Sean Kemp. Tempo and off the knees, Mahmoud and Denver really not very sharp as they start the second half.
Watch Kemp, he goes down, but Tumble's got pretty good. He holds it, stays in the air, and continues to get the shot on the fadeaway.
Seattle on a 7-0 run, 11 turnovers against Denver. Payton changed the shot. He does that so well, and Bernie Bickerstaff is not happy. He calls the timeout.
You know, the problem is that when you keep going to Mutombo on the box and nothing happens down there, then they've got nothing going offensively, and you keep giving up the ball.
And they've been outscored 9-0.
TBS NBA Thursday is brought to you by Chevy Trucks and by Dutch Boy Paints.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Blazer, the only sport utility vehicle with a driver control system. It's nice to know it's here.
I was abused as a child. Now I have a son of my own. I haven't done anything to harm my baby. I never would. I know there's a better way of disciplining your children than hurting them. I love my son very much, and I don't want to hurt him, but I don't want to take any chances. Maybe you could help me. He is 2 now, and I'm afraid I would do the same thing to him as my mom did to me.
Backdrop of the Rocky Mountains as we come back in after Denver scored the first basket of the second half. Seattle on a 9-0 run has taken a 59-44 lead. Reggie Williams, they're going to give him a 2. He was inside the line.
Yeah, set play. They isolated for Reggie, and he took Detlef off the dribble. Still settled for the long-range jumper. Fortunately for the Nuggets, he knocked it down.
11 points now for Reggie Williams. 5 of 10 from the field. Detlef Schrempf moving in on Williams. Sam Perkins, they got a mismatch somewhere now. They jump it inside to Sean Kemp. And Kemp, nice face-up jumper.
They're so tough when they go to the post up with Kemp and Detlef Schrempf because not only can they score, but they can make so many other things happen.
16 for Sean Kemp. We were talking during the break. Seattle's a very good basketball team.
More than good. It's shocking if they don't move well into the playoffs, even come out of the West, because they've got so many pieces, so many great basketball players, and there's one of them.
Kemp is staying home on that one, comes up with a rebound. 13 boards tonight. He's averaging 12-4 a game. Payton got hit in the chops. Mahmoud, and he hit. Is he going to give it a 2 or a 3? It's going to be a 3. So Mahmoud finally able to find the range, and we have a 20-second timeout now by Seattle. After that 3, George Karl wanted to stop the action for a moment.
Yeah, Payton on the last play going into the lane, got hit in the throat, and Payton came back, and he started to hold his chin, and George wanted to take a look at it and see what happened because Payton was out of the play defensively, lost his man. Watch right in the middle of your screen, right there. When he came down after the block and wheeled around, Mutombo got him with his left hand and got him right in the throat.
Boy, Mutombo, those long arms, you never can gauge how far those arms are going to come around, and Payton found that out.
Well, you might expect it going to the basket, but when the play is dead and he's standing there and he wheels around and hooks him, a little bit of a surprise.
Phoenix has come back now. They're up 104-96, trailing most of the game as we take a look at tonight's Chevy scoreboard. The Bullets had lost 8 in a row. The Suns had lost 2. They lost in San Antonio, then to Golden State on Tuesday. A team that if they lose tonight, Chuck, would be 13-13 since the All-Star break.
Yeah, they're a different club. Obviously, the loss of Manning is a big factor.
Sam Perkins had a notion at a 3. 7:06 to go in the third. 61-49, the Suns. 5 seconds on the shot clock. With 2, Marciulionis, 1. Kemp got it underway in time. Good defense that time by Denver. Mahmoud on the move. He may get heated up now. He hit the 3 a moment ago. Inside to Dikembe. Mahmoud is 3 of 10 shooting tonight. Trying to shake Sam Perkins. Now that's what he can do. He can get a streak going.
Yeah, he got the mismatch. Took him off the dribble, backed him up, and nailed the shot back to 10.
Back to 10. They had it down to 8 at halftime. So it's kind of a surge again by this resilient Denver team. And Perkins and Jalen Rose were tangled inside. They're going to call a foul on Rose. Let's go back to Mahmoud on that last basket.
He's got Perkins up, Perkins in. Now, what should I do? Should I back up? Or I better get my hand up. But once he gets it back like that, and once he gets untracked, he can hit those shots.
Nate McMillan has checked into the ball game during that break. Marcellonis misses. Mahmoud on the move. He looks very confident right now, doesn't he? Dribbling through all the traffic. Reggie Williams wants some help. Gets it into Dikembe. Sam Perkins deflected it, so he can go back and retrieve. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Mahmoud at 3. You can just see the body language has changed for him.
Yeah, he's feeling very good about himself. The shot is going, and he can shoot it back into the game.
14 points now for Abdul-Rauf. So Denver climbing back into the game. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf has scored the last 8 points for the Nuggets. John Kemp up to Nate McMillan from the corner. Rebound. Dale Ellis, who just checked in. Well, they better come out and put a cloak on this guy. He's going to shoot everything now. Lots it short. Mutombo reloads it.
They've got the crowd involved in the game, and it's definitely a factor. George Karl says, I want to stop this action.
And all of a sudden, we have a 5-point game, a 10-0 run by Denver.
Magic Pistons tomorrow at 8 on TNT.
Nothing is tougher on dirt than a 191 horsepower Chevy S-Series extended cab 4x4. Chevy trucks like a rock.
It's 3 a.m., and you've got to get the year's most important contract to your company's biggest client overseas. And guess what? The fax just won't go through. What are your options? Well, now there's a new option. Call 1-800-THROUGH-FAX, and AT&T's International Fax Service Center will help you solve the problem. Only AT&T guarantees to get your international fax there. Or we'll send it overnight. AT&T, for the life of your business.
There's a place where UV rays beat down so mercilessly they're nearly twice as intense as the sun's. No, it's not some blazing spot in the equator. It's the Dutch Boy Paint Testing Facility, where we test our exterior house paints to make sure they resist fading, blistering, and peeling. It's one of over 75 tests we do to make sure that when you buy Dutch Boy, you're not just getting a paint that looks beautiful. You're getting a paint that lasts. We guarantee it. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
Fred Hickman here in Atlanta with his TBS NBA Thursday update. In Washington, it's the Bullets and the Suns going at it out there. The Phoenix Suns down early in this ball game, but coming back on a Washington team that has a hard time holding a lead. The Bullets by 2 in the fourth. Wesley Person spots up and nails down the 3. Then the Suns run. Doug Overton air balls. Ainge outlet to Marley. Back to Person coming along the left side for the layup. A 13-0 run to start the fourth quarter for the Phoenix Suns. Washington 10-11. When leading after 3. We'll have more on that game a little bit later, but right now back to Gary and Chuck in Denver.
All right, Fred, thank you. 61-56, a 10-0 run by Denver. The crowd is in it now as we have 4:54 to go in the third. Payton, little jump stop. Nate McMillan, who missed one a moment ago, misses another one. And Urban Johnson, who just checked in, comes up with a rebound. Johnson in for Sean Kemp. Sean Kemp left the floor. We're going to try to get an update from Craig Sager to see what the extent of his injury is. Nate McMillan goes into Sam Perkins. Marcellonis, high speed. Urban blocked by Mutombo. His fifth block of the night. What a block. Boy, does that get your crowd into it. Jalen Rose as he ducks inside. Foul before the shot. He was fouled by Nate McMillan as he went to the baseline.
Watch this block. It looked like he was wide open. Mutombo, if he's anywhere within 5 feet of the basketball, he can extend and get a block.
That's the 4th foul on Nate McMillan. They inbound. Jalen Rose will back it out now to Williams. 4:12 to go in the 3rd. Reggie Williams got some alley, takes it, got it. No, he didn't. It went out. But that ball was headed in. Reggie Williams, the left hand, just couldn't get that ball to stay home. Payton to Sam Perkins. Kempe comes out, knowing his range. Rebound cleared by Mahmoud. Here he comes. Mahmoud to Dale Ellis. Well, if he had hit that, this crowd had gone nuts.
They're getting better looks. They're playing better defense. They're really working defensively. They're getting some hands on deflections and really causing some problems.
Dale Ellis does not get a shot tonight. He's 0 for 5. Sam Perkins backing in on Ellis, and he got the left-hand jump hook. 63-56. Greg Sager checking us on Sean Kemp in our first break of the action. We'll get an update on what the extent of his injury is. Dale Ellis with a 2. Still not there. 0 for 6 now.
He'll do that, and then all of a sudden he'll get in a streak, and Bernie's hoping something happens here.
Well, he has Mahmoud now in that little streak. He's got both of them going. That would really be some problems for Seattle. There's Rose committing the foul. Let's go to Craig Sager. Craig, what's the status on Sean Kemp?
Well, Sean Kemp is in the locker room right now being treated for a cut to the head. I asked him what happened. He said he took a vicious elbow. I said, from whom? He said he did not know, but it definitely also hurt because he was being kind of groggy as he walked in there. Possible getting some stitches, but being bandaged up. He said he will come back.
And we have a moving screen against Seattle's Irvin Johnson. Well, remember now, in the first half when he went out, they were up by 17, and then all of a sudden that lead was cut. It's interesting to see what they do with Kemp out now. 63-56, a foul on Irvin Johnson's foot. And Mahmoud able to nail one from outside, and he is red hot.
There's no question where they should be going.
Oh, just keep going back to him, right?
Ride him. Bring him off screens and put him in pick and roll.
He has 12 points this quarter. Sam Perkins is fouled. Perkins right now is wearing out Dale Ellis. He has a tough time playing him defensively. And now we've got a technical on Bernie Bickerstaff. Bernie Bickerstaff picking up the tee. As you mentioned, he was ejected in the game against the Lakers Tuesday night in the 3rd quarter, and he got a tee here. Bill Oakes slapped it on him.
I've been there. Billy got a half smile on his face. You know, this is a good sign of when you start getting technicals after not having been on the bench, it means you're really back involved in the game. And so Bernie is back as a coach. I think when he first come back, you kind of feel your way. You're not involved in the same way.
So the technical makes it 64-58. Sam Perkins will now go to the line. Bernie has really got this team believing they can win again. They battle for that 8th position Sacramento. He's still working on Bill Oakes. He better be careful. He may be in the locker room yet.
No, I think his demeanor and his tone is entirely different than the first time. Then Billy Oakes will listen to it. Now he's saying to him, you better sit down. Gene Lillis comes up and said, Gene Lillis is standing in front of him.
Says, give it to me. I haven't gotten one tonight, right? Perkins hits both free throws, 66-58.
Obviously, no way. They're going to go back to what they call their motion play, and that means Abdul is going to come off of the screen here, or they get Ellis. They just keep working the 2-shooter, but Ellis can't buy one. Looks like he's trying to steal the ball.
Yeah, he just didn't look good at all there. He's 0 for 7. Steer the ball is a good way of describing it. Here's Detlef Schrempf with a 3, and he got it. The NBA's best from three-point land got a 3, and Denver calls timeout. 69-58, so another surge as Seattle beats off the last attempt right now by Denver. It's a 22nd time. Yeah, they've switched Payton over now on Mahmoud. And he's going to shoot it anyway. That was very close, a difficult shot.
That was a little too tough.
That was Schrempf at the other end into Payton. A double on Payton. And it's an offensive foul on Gary Payton. Look at Abdul-Rauf. He is in a zone right now.
Watch back move. Now when he worked off screens, here he could go either way. Comes off the left side, wide open, nails the shot. They come.
And he came back, hit another. He tried a third, which, as you said, had to really rush it.
Now they've got him in a pick and roll where he can do some other things, but he becomes a passer rather than a shooter. That time, drops it off.
Payton runs into Dale Ellis, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Ellis. Gary Payton went backwards in a hurry.
He's calling that a flagrant foul. Billy Oaks is calling it a flagrant foul.
Wow, I got to see this again. How could this be flagrant?
It looked like he was just a little bit out of control and banged into him. Let's see.
Oh, he got his shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Ellis didn't want to take the hit, so he put his shoulder down. I don't know if you would call that necessarily a flagrant.
That was almost in self-defense. 2 free throws and out of bounds. Payton missed the first.
Yeah, if you don't put your shoulder, you're going to take some hit.
Yeah. Anyway, Payton got one of the 2 technicals. Archuleta is coming in. Greg Grant is coming back in for Denver. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who had 4 threes in this quarter and 18 points, will sit down. 16 seconds left in the quarter. They're going to hold for the last shot now of this third quarter. For Payton being guarded by Greg Grant. You talked about a tough assignment. Grant trying to stay with him. They double on Gary. Perkins with 4.5 seconds. Rebound, Byron Houston, and they're not going to get another shot underway. And we've come to the end of the third quarter, and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf has kept Denver in this ball game. You can see in the first half, 1 of 6 and 7 of 11 in the third quarter.
Yeah, he's single-handedly kept them in this basketball game. They're only down 8, but he's done it.
As you say so many times, he wants the ball, and he is in it.
Exactly what happened in the first half. And here comes Denver out with a quick little trap.
Mahmoud with that remarkable third quarter with 18 points. There's a traveling call on Detlef. You can see the momentum, a little of the emotion, and of the confidence shifting in Denver's favor right now.
Yeah, they need to find some kind of an inside game to make something happen. You can't keep depending on one guy to create all of your offense.
Stiff has checked into the ball game. Maybe he can be that guy. Slices in. Oh, that's a tough shot. Irving Johnson got a piece of it.
Not a tough shot. That's a bad shot.
That's an impossible shot, right? Detlef Schrempf dumps it in now to Perkins. Irving Johnson has 4 blocks, and there's the foul going against Denver. Well, Mutombo and Kemp, the 2 guys who started going head-to-head tonight. You can see Kemp, who's been in foul trouble and also been injured, is getting the better of it in both the points and the rebounds.
Yeah, he's, you know, in previous games, he's had a hard time, but tonight he is doing a terrific job. Be interested to see how he plays. Sometimes guys, when they get a cut like that, don't react quite the same way.
Reggie Williams committed the foul, his second. Perkins with the free throw. Here comes Mahmoud. They took him out with 16 seconds left in the third. Just give him a little break and see if he can keep that hot hand going.
Yeah, he's the only place they've been able to get any kind of offense done.
Sam Perkins has missed only 1 free throw tonight. He's 7 of 8. 10-point lead again for the Sonics. Seattle leading the season series 2 games to 1. They lost here Christmas Day. Nuggets have won 5 in a row here at Denver. Reggie Williams can't get it. Sam Perkins with the rebound. Archuleta outside to Gary Payton. Payton changed the shot again. Tom Hammonds keeps it alive. Bryant Stiff has got it. 4-on-1, and Williams finishes.
Got the stop, got the shot block, got good numbers on it. Great pass.
Boy, they haven't had very many transition baskets.
Very few. Well, the whole game, but it's 74-66 with 10 to go. There's not a lot of transition baskets by either club.
Only 6 points on the break, Marty Aronoff, our statistician, indicates. Another foul on Denver. You know, interestingly enough, I asked George Carlin that. I said, what's the key to the game? I said, score 100 points, and I kind of laughed. But they're not going to get there tonight.
First 1 to 100.
That's right. This is one of those games.
It's going to be a struggle.
Yes, it is. They inbound on the near side. Sean Kemp with the 2 stitches over the right eye into the ball game. Here's Gary Payton, and Mahmoud cannot get up to block that shot. He had no chance whatsoever.
That shows you the subtle finesse of this game where he catches it, gets up and makes an easy shot. See, we've got Mahmoud handling the ball, making the passes, not getting any shots, and we're going elsewhere to try to score, and no one has been able to do it all night.
There They're almost lethargic otherwise. Tom Hammonds gets it. Hammonds hits the shot, but Mahmoud was running people through screens and picks and working well off the ball, and all of a sudden he's handling the ball. That's what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Outside. I was just trying to say it another way. Here's Marcellonis, and he hit a three. That's a big three at this stage of the game.
Yeah, they move the ball. They're getting such wide open shots. You can see they've played so much together. It's such a confident team offensively because they know so many people can get shots on their own, so they can afford to wait till the clock runs down.
Marcellonis with 16 points. He's 6 of 9. 7 seconds on the shot clock, and Peyton kind of bailed him out there. They were doing nothing offensively. Mahmoud's upset. He's upset because they're not running any offense right now.
Well, they're not screening for each other, and they're not getting open. In that case, Reggie Williams came off, and his guy was down, as was Stiff, and he didn't take advantage of it.
11-point lead for Seattle. 9:21 left in the game. Ryan Stiff with a 2. Stiff had hit only one shot previous to that one. He was 1 of 4. 9-point ball game.
Yeah, that move went after Stiff a little bit, and Stiff responded.
Peyton working hard off the ball. Detlef Schrempf backing in against Reggie Williams. Nice reverse block by Dikembe. Here comes Tom Hammonds. 6th block of the night from Mutombo. Hammonds to the hole.
Boy, that gets a crowd involved. Terrific play by Hammonds. I wasn't sure he was going to get that off.
He's hit 2 baskets here in the 4th quarter, and all of a sudden, 79-72. Denver's been fighting uphill all night long. They trail by as many as 17 in this ball game. They trail by 8 at half. Sean Kemp. Uh-oh, is he something?
What a statement.
81-72. Kemp now with 18 points. Here's Mahmoud working off the ball. He shakes loose a 2.
You got to put him in the position to cross screens to get shots because he really knows how to get open. And when he's got it going, you got to ride him.
24 points for Abdul-Rauf. That's what Bernie Bickerstaff said. He's learned to work off the ball so much more effectively. Peyton is fouled as he goes inside. Let's watch the block and then watch what happened after Mutombo blocks the shot.
Schrempf reverse dribbles, gets inside, thinks he's going to jam. Mutombo gets a block. Hammonds just outruns everybody with the basketball. That's hard to do when you're dribbling.
You said you weren't sure he'd get that shot underway. Gary Payton at the line missed the free throw. Payton is 4 of 7 from the stripe. 81-74. George Karl was saying, oh, I've been in this position before with these guys. If they ever go away, Reggie Williams saves it.
Hammonds went to sleep on the line. Hammonds hurt his leg on that slam. He's limping right now.
And Payton is 4 of 8 from the stripe. Mahmoud a 3. And Dikembe, we're going to have a loose ball foul. I think Dikembe pushed everybody off on that one. That will be only his 2nd foul. Next Thursday, Vern Lundquist will be joining my partner here, Chuck Daly, at 8 o'clock. Golden State takes on the Utah Jazz. Eastern at 8 as John Stockton, the all-time assist leader guy, the best shooting team in the NBA, the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, there's something different. Hammonds is hurt, and he's out of the game, but there's something different about Utah this year. Not only their record, they've always had, the 2 guys who played so well, but they've got a sense of winning on the road and playing great basketball.
John Kemp in a little bit of traffic. Out to Payton, a 3. Rebound, Reggie Williams. Nobody gives Utah any respect. And they've winning on the road this year, which they haven't done in the past. Then Reggie Williams turns it over. Irvin Johnson now is going to come into the ball game for Seattle. And look at this. Phoenix ends a 2-game losing streak. 127 to 123. Washington now has lost 9 in a row.
Headed for the lottery.
They've got some guys that join him, and those 2 Michigan guys, Weber, Juwan Howard, they could build quickly, couldn't they? 7 minutes left in this ball game. Detlef Schrempf tried to split the defenders, smacked away. Denver playing heads-up defense. Here's Ellis. Now, he would have usually taken that shot, but he's not confident right now. Stiff backing in. Off the glass. Barcelona's trying to draw the offensive foul. No whistle.
Very physical. Barcelona looks at him. Look at my arm, I'm bleeding. That's how hard I got hit.
Steal attempt by Brian Stiff. Payton able to get away from it. 81-76, 5-point lead. That's almost traveling. Payton almost lost control of the dribble.
What great touch he has when he goes up on that shot. And he's so
for DeKembe. 3 of 10 from the field. Barcelona's working hard off the ball, slices in, bounces off of DeKembe, and Mutombo's committed the foul. That will be his third. Well, we talked about the Pacific Division race. The start of the night, Seattle had a half-game lead on the Suns, and as we mentioned, this is updated up to the moment until we find out what happens with Seattle, and they have 2 games remaining. One in Seattle, that'll be on TNT Tuesday, and then the season finale will be played in Phoenix.
You know, Bernie Bickerstaff working Jack Neese, because when Marciulionis goes to the basket, it's almost impossible not to foul him the way he goes, and it makes it very tough for the defense. They can't back off the court. It's really a problem. It's a problem. He's very difficult to officiate.
Well, he's so strong. 84-78. Mahmoud trying to shake Payton. They switch on him. Into DeKembe. DeKembe backing on Urban Johnson. Got it in low. Partially blocked. He'll reload it. Stripped. It'll be Denver's basketball. Okay, Urban Johnson hanging in there pretty tough on that flurry. Substitution now. Nate McMillan coming in for Marciulionis. 5:33 to go. They'll have 23 seconds on the shot clock.
As much as Denver struggled, they're really still in this basketball game, because as we know, this is more than a lifetime in an NBA game.
It hasn't been pretty, but they've hung in there. They've been very resilient. Showed some toughness here tonight. There's Mahmoud. He's got the shot. He got off the screen. That's all he needed, but didn't get this one. Urban Johnson with a rebound.
He probably had too much time.
Standing over those putts too long and having those open shots too long, huh? Urban Johnson has 11 rebounds tonight. Detlef Schrempf baseline rejected and a foul. Brian Stiff went up, tried to keep that ball from being hammered in and committed the foul.
Watch Detlef Schrempf on this play. He waits, and when he wheels, it makes it so tough for the defense. You have to be there. You already have to be at the net before he gets there. Otherwise, you're too late.
Detlef Schrempf, 5 of 7 from the line, 17 points, 7 rebounds. The field goal percentage is just phenomenal. .526. And then the three-point is even better, 5.48. I mean, both of them over 50. They have their 3 All-Stars all shooting over 50%.
Yeah, they don't work at setting Schrempf up for the 3. You'd think they'd do a little bit more of that on flares or something, the way he shoots them. But out of context, when you can shoot that kind of percentage, what a dangerous weapon. You can post up and shoot threes like that.
Brian Stiff takes McMillan inside. McMillan's got 5 fouls, and he knows it, and he had to lay off of him.
Stiff doing a good job on his post-up game.
6-point lead now for the Sonics. Here's Sean Kemp. You see that eye with the Band-Aid over it, 2 stitches. He had to take a 3 by Detlef Schrempf. Not only is that percentage impressive, but he hits them when they count the most. That's a big 3.
Yeah, they went to Kemp on the outside, and he was able to get penetration, kick it outside, and get the shot force from Detlef.
89-80. The Sonics up to a 9-point advantage. Reggie Williams with a 3. Not there. DeKembe tries a follow tip on the baseline. They fight for it. It's off of Seattle. Denver will set it up. Brian Stiff thought he was fouled inside as Reggie Williams will inbound. Brings it way out now to Mutombo. Here's Tom Hammonds back in after that bump knee. He's going to get the roll, and he's going to go to the line.
Gets the post up, gets the basket.
And Sean Kemp has his 4th foul, and Hammonds, who has hit 3 very big baskets in the second half.
Yeah, the Denver Nuggets, we've talked about it all night, doing nothing pretty, really struggling to score against Seattle, but somehow hanging around.
Tom Hammonds, who was the #1 draft pick way back coming out of Georgia Tech. I remember Bobby Crimmins telling me he was one of the hardest working guys he ever had in college. Denver bench has done a good job in this game. They're outscoring the Seattle bench. And Jalen Rose, is he going to come back in?
He's elected a T-shirt rather than his normal jacket.
Outside, Urban Johnson. Dikembe recovered in time. Boy, you just never know where he's going to come from.
You thought sure. He looked so wide open.
7 blocks now for Mutombo. He's had a high of 11 this year. It's kicked back out. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Brian Stitt, gliding shot.
When he gets in the lane, he gets his body hunkered up and in control, he can make that shot.
89-84. The crowd sensing something special could happen here. Denver is spot uphill all night long. McMillan will back it out to Payton. Baseline, Sean Kemp. Mutombo was off the floor and trying to get back.
He looked like he got knocked down, and he was on the floor, and they found Kemp underneath for the easy basket.
He couldn't gather himself, and they spotted Kemp wide open, and he took it to the hoop, and now Stitt is fouled. Brian Stitt is really pushing everything. Go back to this block by Mutombo, his 7th of the night.
Wide open underneath. Here he comes. What timing. Oh, he slammed him in there. Now he's standing wide open. He tries to get back up. The official standing right underneath completely missed the play.
That last foul was on Nate McMillan. He's fouled out of the ball game. Mahmoud changes things inside. Dikembe's got it, stripped to the ball. And what do we got? We've got a foul. And George Karl better be careful. He'll get it, team.
Very careful.
I think he wanted 3 seconds in the lane. They were there a long time. And eventually they get the foul. The foul is going to go on Kemp, and that's his 5th.
Thought he was stripped. George was really upset. Now, he's out on the floor.
Well, and his trainer's over talking to Sam Perkins in the second half. Denver with their first try this half, which is hard to believe. Seattle is 5 of 8. So that was their first attempt from the line. Second half, Mutombo's second shot. 91-85. 2:55 left in the game. Seattle needing to win here to stay ahead of the Phoenix Suns of the Pacific Division. Phoenix winning earlier against Washington. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Little pick and roll. Payton's going to shoot it. Mutombo has the ball taken away by Kemp, and Kemp playing with 5 fouls, as aggressive as ever, is fouled himself.
Quick off the floor. Here's Payton. Gets a good shot. Kemp working hard, gets it, fakes the ball. Good ball fake, goes up. No, he's going to get hammered. Goes to the line.
Tom Hammonds is the guy that fouled him. As Sean Kemp will go to the line, he has 20 points tonight, 18 rebounds, and missed it. And interestingly enough, both times that he got in foul trouble in the first half when he went out to get the 2 stitches over his eye, Denver made some moves. He is now 3 of 5 from the free throw line. 92-85, Seattle. Here's Payton respecting Mahmoud. Into Hammonds. Kemp comes up with a steal. What a remarkable athletic move that was. Kemp now off to Detlef Schrempf. Gary Payton. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Kemp again. That pass inside, beautifully done. Urban Johnson puts it away, and he draws the foul. And Sean Kemp, it's just kind of taken over right now.
What a great pass. And he said, it doesn't matter who's going to be there. He's not the kind of guy necessarily you want to have the ball, but the guy's wide open. When a guy's open, you got to give the basketball, and he converts it and goes to the line. They are so patient with the basketball under problem, and then your right hand really fired up.
Urban Johnson's had a strong game tonight. He has 5 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 blocks.
He's a welcome addition to this club, and I think it's going to really help in the playoffs.
There's a long 3. That ought to be worth more than 3.
A reverse dribble, back turn, spins, and hits it.
95-88. So Mahmoud now extending the range, is trying to get open somehow. Sean Kemp kicks it out to Detlef Schrempf. 1:43 left in the ball game. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Detlef changing direction and didn't get the roll. Dikembe with a rebound, and he's fouled. going to go on Detlef Schrempf. Both he and Irvin Johnson double-teamed him after the rebound. We mentioned neither team has any fouls to get. Well, look at this long-distance shot.
Watch this range. Watch this range. You know, you'd almost like to say, come down every time and just go out and take that shot from that area.
Well, Mahmoud has really come on since Bernie Bickerstaff has taken over. 10 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 blocks. A minute 27 left in the game. Seconds on the shot clock. Detlef looks up with 6. The double team comes. Payton with 3, 2. Didn't get a good look. Rebound by Tom Hammonds. Good defense by Denver. Mahmoud, he's going to launch it. Rebound. Boy, that would have really put some pressure on Seattle if they'd hit that one.
Yeah, he's been shooting so well, but with the clock being where it is, they could have, 2 would have been very beneficial rather than going for that quick long distance shot.
And I'm sure he's been in such a rhythm and feels so good about his shot. There's a touch foul on Tom Hammonds, and that'll send Sam Perkins to the line. That's 5 fouls on E-plus wins. First time in their franchise.
And we'll try to play him very tough.
Denver for the night has attempted 23. They've hit 6. You see the timeouts as Denver just used 1. They have 2 left, 3 for Seattle. No fouls to get. Ryan Stitt will try a 3. Oh, nice looking Archie shot. And it's 97-93. It's not over yet. And there's a reach-in foul stopping the clock.
Denver has 2 timeouts.
He got the second one, and they're going to use another timeout. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf has put some excitement into this ball game tonight.
They've got Dale Ellis in also.
Ellis has not been able to buy anything. Mahmoud trying to spin, get open. Payton all over it. That's a 2. He had to settle for a 2 because Payton extended him defensively.
And they're going to try to foul again.
98-95. Perkins gets it into Payton, and they foul Payton, and Gary Payton is a 73% free throw shooter.
The Denver Nuggets are really lengthening this game. Here he comes free, catches the basketball, spins right, spins back left, dribbles behind his back. Then he really wanted to work the three line, but was able to get inside and settle for the 2.
Well, Payton is, as he said, the first guy to score 100 points and win. This would be the 100-point right here. George Karl knew what he was talking about.
And the Denver Nuggets going to take their final timeout.
So Karl's team up by 5.
He's settled his club down, given stability, and he's been very positive with him. Hey, by the way, he drafted him, and they better be able to play for him.
And he's also the president. He's signing the checks.
Yeah, that does help.
So you can see Denver has no timeouts left. Denver, in the first 3 quarters, shot 32%. In this quarter, Chuck Daly, they shot 59%.
Somehow, it almost always averages.
Reggie Williams, patient, got the ball to Brian Stitt. He hits it. 3-point game. They'll foul again, and they're going to send Payton to the line again. Who'd they call it on? Either Murray Payton at the line, hit the free throw, so he's hit him down the stretch here. He's now 7 of 11, and here comes Greg Grant back in. They'll get somebody to push it up the floor with 30 seconds left in the ball game. Payton looking for his 20th point of the night. 102-97. Greg Grant is pushing. Dale Ellis, he hasn't hit one tonight, and he's still not there. He has really been cold. 0 for 8 tonight. There's another foul. Schrempf will finish it off, and Seattle is going to pick up their 52nd win of the year. They'll stay a half game ahead of the Suns in the Pacific Division. Denver falls right down behind Sacramento.